morning. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is CATEX-TV. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., 4:30 p.m. in London, 12:30 p.m. in Bermuda, and 9:30 a.m. in Mexico City. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. On this day in history for you boxing fans, 45 years ago today, could it have been that long, then known as Cassius Clay, a young boxer with a gold medal from the Rome Olympics, knocked out Sonny Liston down in Miami Beach, Florida. Of course, he later became known as Muhammad Ali, 45 years ago today. Now to our main news. We have another air crash, the third in just a few weeks. This is a Turkish Airlines 737-800. Crashed on approach into Schiphol Airport in Holland this morning. It was a muddy field near the Amsterdam airport. It broke into three pieces. 9 people apparently have been killed. Early press reports said that no fatalities had occurred. There were about 134 people, including crew members, on board the flight from Istanbul to Amsterdam Schiphol International. As I mentioned, it was a third-generation 737-800. The 9 were killed, 25 were badly injured. News photos from the scene, as we just showed you, showed that dozens of ambulances are surrounding the plane. The plane apparently is in a very muddy field. The ambulances cannot get in, so tractors are pulling the dead as well as injured people out. The engines seem to have separated. It was flight 1951. It left Istanbul early this morning. The engines are located now in a field. The nose of the plane is heading in the direction of the runway. The plane is a new plane relatively. It was built in 2003 by Boeing and was last inspected in December, according to Turkish Airlines officials. The Insurance Insider is reporting that the plane, in fact, is insured under the Willis-brokered Lufthansa program with Allianz as the overall lead. According to sources, the cover for the 737-800 has an estimated hull value of up to $45 million. It was also underwritten in London by global aerospace underwriting managers. The Insider has reported in the past that Turkish Airlines was added to the Lufthansa program at the beginning of the January 12, 2007 renewals. That's a big program. It has over $30 billion in fleet value. The Insider is also reporting concerning Allianz that the company is set to reveal a heavy fourth quarter loss of at least 2.5 billion euros as a result of investment write-downs and an additional charge relating to its former investment in Dresdner Bank. Will that ever go away? Allianz has refused to comment on suggestions that it's considering capital-raising measures. And in the United States last night, in a nationally televised address to a joint session of Congress, President Obama offered a grim portrait of America's plight. He promised, however, to lead an economic renewal that could lift the country out of its current crisis without bankrupting its future. The president struck an optimistic tone that has been absent so far from his speeches in recent weeks about the economy. He said that the stimulus plan, the bank bailout proposal, housing programs, and health care overhaul would work in concert to turn around the American economy. And he bluntly described a country beset by his historic economic challenges. He said that the solution lies in directly confronting, not ignoring those problems. In an address that largely shunned foreign policy details to focus on the economy, the president said, "Now is the time to jumpstart job creation, restart lending, and invest in areas like energy, health care, and education." The 52-minute speech was greeted with sustained applause in the House chamber. He received a standing ovation when he vowed that corporate chief executives would no longer travel on private jets at the same time they laid off thousands of workers. "Those days are over," he said. Lawmakers leapt to their feet again when he declared that health care reform cannot wait, it must not wait, and it will not wait another year. Those are the reactions of the lawmakers. The stock market is down about 127 points right now. Eternal pessimists. Yesterday afternoon, late in the day, Bloomberg began to run this story, and it's been picked up by a number of others. American International Group may scrap a plan to pay a $60 billion U.S. government loan by selling businesses. This is because they failed to find enough promising bidders. CEO Edward Liddy, who took charge in September and unveiled the strategy the next month, has concluded it won't work. This is according to anonymous sources. AIG is proposing additional ways to reduce the company's debt to the government, including handing over stakes in some operation directly to the United States government. The talks come as AIG, which is already propped up with a total of $150 billion in taxpayers' aid, prepares to disclose a fourth quarter loss of about $60 billion and seeks to fend off credit rating cuts. The global financial crisis has slashed the S&P 500 index in half since Liddy announced his plan. This has reduced the prices AIG units could obtain, as well as thinning the pools of companies strong enough to buy them. AIG remains in talks with credit rating companies and American regulators, and the results of those discussions will probably be disclosed next week when the company posts its fourth quarter results. Maurice Greenberg has got to be fuming. Some news coming from Hartford that Thomas M. Mara, the company's president and chief operating officer, will retire in July. The company announced that Mara has resigned from the company's board of directors effective immediately. Romney Eyre, the chairman and CEO, said that Tom has been a dedicated and committed executive of the Hartford for nearly 29 years and has made substantial contributions to this organization over that time. Now, Romney Eyre will directly oversee the Hartford's property and casualty and life operations. Mara was appointed to the president job in the summer of '07. And here's an interesting story. Swiss Re has pledged to buy back the £1.8 billion stake in the business that was taken by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway Group. That investment, of course, was in the form of convertible perpetual capital instruments. They have a face value of 3 billion Swiss francs. Swiss Re can buy back the stake from the second anniversary of the purchase at 120% of the face value. The reinsurer's newly appointed CEO, Stefan Lipp, and its chief financial officer, George Quinn, confirmed that the goal of the company was to repurchase the instruments after 2 years. Berkshire Hathaway has the option of converting the investment into common shares anytime after holding them for 3 years. Analysts, however, are expressing doubts that Swiss Re will be able to buy back the stake. According to one analyst, Mark Nicholson, who's an equity analyst at Standard & Poor's, this is an ambitious target given their capital constraints, and with the ratings downgrade, they've had to increase capital. Last week, S&P lowered Swiss Re's financial stake. Moody's Investor Service also lowered it, and AM Best has it under review. So we'll see what happens there. We'll go now to a word from our sponsors and come back with the rest of the news.